Hey, what's happening, my fearless networking friends? Todd Falcone here. Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to talk about how to stay out of Facebook jail, right? So I don't know if you've ever been on pause where they limit your account or shut you down, or you've been warned, but this is pretty common where somebody, and they're building their business on Facebook, and then all of a sudden they can't build their business on Facebook because Facebook puts them in restricted mode or turns their account off, or who knows what happens, right? So I know many of you are utilizing social media, specifically Facebook, to build your business. And unfortunately, Facebook doesn't give you a written set of rules in terms of what you can do and what you can't do when it comes to building your network marketing business. One thing I want you to understand is that Facebook, and we've seen it even pretty recently, there's a lot of, and I don't want to get into a political conversation in this post, but there is definitely a level of censorship that's going on, and we don't have the total openness and liberties to do whatever we feel like we want to do on this free tool that we use. Now, something that I've said many times, I'll say it again. I think it's really important that you understand that you have a free vehicle, a free tool here to use that you do not pay for. You don't own it, you don't run it, you don't control it, you don't make the rules. And so one suggestion that I have, even before I get into how to stay out of Facebook jail, is just make sure that you don't 100% rely on any one thing to help you grow your business. For example, if I asked you the question, would your business significantly, dramatically, or completely suffer if Facebook were to shut you down, or one day you woke up and you didn't have a Facebook page? If your answer is yes to any of the above, then you're being too reliant on that one tool, Facebook in this example, for your business. I think it's a big mistake. It's a common mistake. It's something people do all the time. As many of you may remember, a few years ago, Facebook had a glitch. It was maybe not even a couple years. It was probably about a year and a half ago, where one day we all woke up and Facebook was broken. And there were people all over the network marketing world that were panicking, that were essentially out of business because Facebook was out. So I don't know. I mean, think about that for a second. Like, okay, well, don't you think it would be a wise idea to do other things in addition to, and I'm not saying don't utilize it, certainly do. It's a great way to connect with people and engage and all of that, but being solely reliant on it is a mistake. Now let's get into the meat of the matter for today. So Facebook jail, right? Or Facebook restricted mode, whatever you want to call it, where you don't have access to posting. There's a few things that typically trigger it. And one of them, for example, is if you private message, instant message too many people, and we don't know what the number is. Is it 10? Is it 20? Is it 50? Is it 100? We don't really know because they don't give us written rules. You can message up to 20 people a day. So my suggestion would be, if you're utilizing Messenger, that you're doing so consistently that you don't let it all stack up to Friday and then you're going to try to message 100 people on Friday. I can tell you this, I've never messaged 100 people in a single day. I certainly have messaged many, probably 10, 15, 20. So again, I don't know what the number is, neither do you. Nobody really knows what the number is. So I would say this, be consistent in your messaging. Number one, I don't know. I mean, if you start getting up to, messaging 25, 30, 40, 50 people a day, you're running the risk of being on restricted mode, right? So now the other thing is, don't copy and paste. Don't copy and paste the same message. Don't copy and paste the same message. Whatever message that you're sending to somebody, I think it needs to be unique and different and personalized to that individual. And I don't think this is a place where we can be lazy and copy and paste, because whatever stuff, computers, AI that those guys have, it's going to trigger it. They're going to find out about it. And ultimately, you may find yourself in restricted mode, not able to conduct business on Facebook for a little while or a long while, depending on what you do. So that's one thing. The other thing that I found will cause people to go on restricted mode is if you send too many friend requests. Again, we don't know what the number is, too many. So I'm not even I don't even know if I want to give you a number in this episode, but if you're like doing 100 friend requests a day, you're probably going to have something happen. So I don't know I don't even know what the reasonable number is. Probably well under 50 a day would be my guess. And again, I think the key element here is consistent daily action. So if you're doing the daily actions, then you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, I haven't friend requested anybody this week and I got to pile 50 in on Friday. If you're doing something every single day, then you're more likely to have good things happen for you. One other thing that I've seen people go into Facebook jail for is liking too many people's posts. Isn't that crazy? We're out there and we want to engage in other people's posts and we want to, be active on Facebook. But if you're like, and you like far too many posts or comment on too many posts or, share too many posts, you're also running a risk of potentially being put in a shutdown mode on Facebook. So again, the other thing you also have to understand is Facebook does not like network marketing, okay? Pure and simple, they don't. Like you can't go really even run an ad, a business opportunity ad, and drive paid traffic to a home business ad because they look at network marketing opportunities as get-rich-quick schemes. It says it in their advertising policies and procedures. So I just think it's important that, again, we have to work with this free tool that we have, and if we do too much of one thing, then we end up running the risk of being shut down. So too many messages, definitely not copy and pasting messages, but even just too many messages in a single day could cause it. If you're liking too many things, if you're friend requesting too many people, those have been the things that I've found that have gotten people into Facebook jail or Facebook restricted mode or whatever you might call it. I also think that at least now, the political climate that we're in is a little crazy. So if you're posting things, and it's crazy, I don't know how, I don't want to go too far into this, but you start posting news that, and it's interesting, if you've noticed probably in the last year, Facebook has gotten into fact checking, right? So you post something about something and then they'll gray it out, and this is proven to be false by independent fact checkers or whatever it says. And I know some people that have been fairly political on their page and have ultimately gotten shut down. So that's another thing to consider. Now, one other item is, in fact, a friend of mine, now this is something that's interesting. He posted and changed his birthday. So he changed his birthday because he wanted to hide it or something, and he got his page completely shut down where he had no access to it. In fact, he had to start an entirely new Facebook page, and he was gone for it was finally a couple months later he started an entirely new page, and this guy had a page for many, many years. So it's not hard to stay out of Facebook jail. I've never personally been there, but I know many people who have, and those are the items that typically, what I found, have gotten them into that kind of situation. Now, if you're watching this video and you found another way that you've gotten put in Facebook jail or on restricted mode, feel free to comment. I mean, those are the primary things that I found. I don't know where you're catching me. You might be catching me on my podcast, which is great. You might be catching me on YouTube. The conversation for this post and all of my posts are happening over at toddfalcone.com/episode 98. That's this episode that you're listening to or watching right now. So toddfalcone.com/episode 98. I want to hear from you. If you've been put in Facebook jail or put on restricted mode for something other than what I've mentioned, please do comment. I want to hear from you. But those are the primary things that I typically see people go to Facebook jail for. So anyhow, thank you so much for plugging in. Stay fearless, my friends. We will see you on another episode. Have an amazing day. We'll be right back.